Hey you guys, Richard here with Alien Bros. I have some very awesome news for you guys today and a few great UFO sightings to share with you as well, and this news has got me in a fantastic mood. First, let's go over the UFO sightings and we'll save the news for you guys at the end of the video. The first UFO sighting comes from Fort Bragg, North Carolina and was reported to MUFON. This sighting was incredible, and it seems like we are gaining more and more incredible evidence as the days go by, and the government continues dropping these bombshell pieces of evidence pointing towards the disclosure of the alien phenomenon. I will leave the MUFON case number down in the description for you guys to check it out yourselves, just like I always do, and I'll play the clip for you guys first and then read you guys the witness's statement to MUFON afterwards. Then after that, we can examine the footage together. Be sure to let us know what you guys think about it down in the comments. Alright, now here's the video.
No, I know past employees though, and I'm sure they can direct me there. My wife, she used to work at the casino, and okay, great, yeah. Great, I appreciate you so much. And this is a good contact number for you? Yes, that's exactly okay. What was your name one more time?
Now, I gotta say, not only is this footage amazing, but it's extra intriguing to me specifically because I've actually seen a UFO like this before, personally, over Boca Raton, Florida. Although it was only one of these orbs instead of 5, the one I saw made an upward ascent just like the ones it did in this video, and appeared as a white light fireball. I only saw it for a couple of seconds because once it ascended up, it was moving so fast that it left our atmosphere faster than I could pull out my phone to record it. Now, the witness's statement to MUFON reads, 3 burning orbs descended as if entering our atmosphere and changed directions, even hovering before burning out. Then, black dome-shaped objects fell to Earth. 5 more came through in the same area, captured on the video, from a high altitude. The orbs both ascended and descended, changed directions rapidly, and hovered at times. The orbs traveled at varying speeds. Each of the orbs would slow down and speed up independently of the other orbs. Alright, now I have no idea what these things could be. It appears to be real and unaltered footage from what I can tell, and these things are obviously nothing conventional. I mean, have you ever seen a drone, a plane, a flare, a missile, or anything produced on this planet capable of flight ever act in the capacity that these fireballs did? This has to be something not of this world. Either that, or it is secret government technology being tested, but I have my doubts about that. Something about this just seems otherworldly to me. Remember to let us know what you guys think down in the comments, because we need some serious help figuring this one out. We will continue to dig deeper into the sighting, but so far we have come up with no answers as to what this could be. If any of you guys saw this and have video footage of these craft, then please send it over to us and let us know everything you know about what this sighting could have possibly been. We need all the evidence that we can get to solve this case, and I have a feeling though that this one won't be so easy to solve. Now, the next sighting that I want to share with you guys is another MUFON case that comes out of Laredo, Texas, and after watching the clip about 50 times, I haven't been able to debunk it. It is definitely not CGI because of how the craft behaves when going behind the telephone poles and trees, and the size of it is pretty ridiculous. It lacks flashing lights like an airplane, and I have never seen an airplane that looks like this before. I'll say more about it afterwards, and we'll read you guys the witness's statement once the video is done. The MUFON case number, of course, will be down in the description, so here's the video.
Saucer flying over this part of Laredo, I think. It looks like a flying saucer. It doesn't have any flashing lights or anything. See, look, it's flying around. It's just flying around. What are the aliens doing over here?
If one of you guys can tell me what it is we're looking at, then please do. I am leaning towards it being an alien craft, but I want to see how you guys feel about it first. Now, like I said, I'll read you the witness's statement to MUFON. The statement reads, "My son and I were driving into Laredo, Texas on Highway 59 at about 8:15 p.m. We noticed 3 large, white, bright, horizontal lights in the distance when we were around the rest area outside Laredo on 59. The lights were in a straight line and not offset slightly in relation to each other. The object was traveling due east towards us. I told my son to look at it, as it had no red or white flashing lights that would indicate some type of aircraft. I told him it looked like a UFO. As we passed the firing range on the outskirts of Laredo, it appeared to be fixing to fly over us. It was very large, and I thought I was going to get a good look at it. I told my son to videotape it. He started videotaping the object, and it made a turn towards the north and flew over the highway as it descended towards the lake and passed over a fairground off the highway. As it turned to the north, you would expect to see the lights pivot as the object's direction changed, but the lights remained in a horizontal line and did not change position as the object changed direction. We lost sight of it after it descended out of sight over the buildings and the trees at about 8:25 p.m. There is an airport in Laredo about 2 to 3 miles to the west of where we spotted the object, but it was too low to be making an approach or circling towards the airport, and none of the runways line up with an approach from this direction. The 3 white lights never flashed and were almost blinding, they were so bright. They were as bright as a light plant on a well site. We did not hear any sound whatsoever. We were both convinced we had seen a UFO. My girlfriend's brother has lived in Laredo all his life and worked at the airport before. We showed the video to him, and he stated that he had never seen anything like that before around the area. He stated that it was not an airplane or helicopter. I tried matching up the light patterns with known aircraft, both commercial and military, but I couldn't find a match. Alright, so I just want to say that I absolutely love it when witnesses make an attempt at figuring out what they saw in the way that these two did. Having done the work to try to find out if it was debunkable rather than simply believing that they were looking at something alien right off the bat is awesome, because it shows they truly did not know what they were looking at and they genuinely cared about the sighting. I don't see it too often in this field of research. Usually, evidence is simply handed over to UFO investigators like me and my team, and we're left to figure out what it is on our own. I won't immediately take the witness's word for it though, simply because they tried to figure out what it was in the way that these two did, and I still conduct the same rigorous, thorough analysis of evidence that I do for every piece of evidence that we receive here on this channel. However, I do factor it in with the witness's character, and that definitely matters. I spend a lot of time sorting through a lot of garbage evidence to find these sorts of gems, and once I find them, I research them and polish them until I know for a fact that they are an authentic piece of evidence that will help to further the cause of figuring this phenomenon out, and one day demanding disclosure from our government. That is, unless of course the signs we have been seeing lately, many of which I pointed out in my last couple of videos, end up actually being clues that disclosure is coming in the near future. If it isn't, then making our dream come true on this channel is going to be our ultimate goal. That's why we need as many of you guys to subscribe as possible and be on our side. There is power in numbers, and together we will be able to force the truth out of those in a position of power to know it. This footage that I just showed you is truly something that I have never seen before. Even after 12 years of researching this phenomenon, I've never seen video evidence quite like this one before. Let us know what you guys think about it, and if you've seen something similar to this, please leave your story down in the comments. If you know what this thing is, or you have more unaltered photo or video evidence, preferably a close-up shot of it, then please email it over to us. If the file is too large to send by email, then please upload the file to Dropbox and then email me the download link so that I'll be able to see the raw original file. Alright, so now I have one last thing to share with you guys before we get into the news I was telling you about earlier. This one is also a UFO case reported to MUFON, and we will leave the case number again down in the description just like the other two. There is a difference with this one though, and that is that the sighting was not located in the United States. This sighting comes to us from the city of Ibarra in Uruguay and is definitely a good one. It reminds me a lot of the UFO I filmed about a week or so ago and posted in one of my recent videos. When you get done with this video, you should definitely go check it out if you haven't already seen it so you can see what I mean. It is the one titled "Something Strange is Going On in the Skies Above Florida." The main difference between my sighting and the witnesses in this video is how many of these crafts there were in one spot. You guys should definitely examine the crafts closely. I will go ahead and play the video, and afterwards read you the witness's statement with an examination of the video. So here it is.
Sí, Si me creyeras, creo que es un ovni.
¿Ah, sí?
Míralo cómo se paró.
Sí, sí. Aquí lo quito.
¿Qué fue lo que alquilaste de bicicleta? ¡Súper! Aquí está esa. ¿Qué estás haciendo? Qué bueno. Esa cuadra me agarró tipo cosito. Ay, me agarró como terrible. Con los años que la mañana.
The colors of these crafts are very similar to a lot of the crafts that I have seen over South Florida. These things were definitely not planes due to the fact that they were able to hover in one spot and lacked any form of flashing lights. It is possible it could have been a drone maybe, but I have my doubts about that. I'll leave that up to you guys to decide down in the comments though. Luckily, the person that captured this footage speaks English, so I'm able to read you his statement to MUFON. The witness's statement says, "I was waiting for the bus to go home after work and it was kind of delayed. I started looking at the sky and noticed red lights, which I thought were those of an airplane, but suddenly the lights seemed to stop. Then suddenly the lights went back very fast and again stood still. That's when I grabbed my phone and recorded the event. The first lights I saw in the object in the sky were red, and then I realized that under the red lights was also a blue light that was shining too. The object made really weird back and forth movements and stood still, which really caught my attention. For the speed with which it moved, it is not possible for any flying machine that I know of today, especially when floating still in the sky. Another guy also noticed the strange behavior of the flying object and asked if I was recording it, asking me what it was. I said I believed it was a UFO. After a few minutes, the object simply disappeared from sight. I was really happy that I finally had a recording of what I think was a UFO. Now, I really want to know what you guys think. A lot of you guys have told me that you've noticed the increase in UFO activity that has been going on all around the United States and apparently many other parts of the world. Specifically, the United States seems to be getting more activity than other countries, and it seems to be around a select group of states, Florida, where I live, being one of them. I have been saying something doesn't feel right about the increase in sightings and the hints at disclosure the United States government seems to be giving us for a while now. Also, do not forget that the Air Force is working on a space division and plans to have it implemented by 2019. Could we be in some sort of danger of an interstellar war? What's the deal with this? There is always the false flag theory, which started by Dr. Stephen Greer, that I know a lot of you are firm believers in. I'm not saying that it is true or anything, but I am saying that it has been speculated, so take that how you want to and draw your own conclusions. Now, finally, the last thing I want to tell you guys about, which I mentioned when I started the video, is that a former Pentagon UFO investigator has came out and said that there is now scientific evidence that we may not be alone. The former head of a secret government program to investigate UFO sightings told several media outlets that extraterrestrial life may exist. Simultaneously, the Public Benefit Corporation he is affiliated with has raised more than $2.2 million to research exotic technologies affiliated with unidentified aerial phenomena. My personal belief is that there is very compelling evidence that we may not be alone, said Luis Elizondo, the person who formerly managed the Pentagon's Advanced Aviation Threat Identification Program, in an interview with CNN. Elizondo said the program has found a lot of strange aircraft while it was in existence. These aircraft, we'll call them aircraft, are displaying characteristics that are not currently within the U.S. inventory, nor in any foreign inventory that we are aware of, he said. In a separate interview with the National Public Radio, which I will be abbreviating as NPR, Elizondo added that his remarks don't necessarily mean the craft were extraterrestrial, as his focus was more on learning about the potential problems with national security. Elizondo went on to say that if you're asking my personal opinion from here, look, I've got to be honest with you, I don't know where it came from, but we're pretty sure it's not here, Elizondo told NPR. Now, does that mean it's out there? Whether it's Russian or Chinese inside, or little green men from Mars, or frankly your neighbor's dog, I wanted to purposely steer away from that speculation, because I wanted to focus on truly just the raw science, what we were seeing, and did it pose a threat to national security. Elizondo resigned from the Defense Department program on October 4th, writing in his resignation letter that there needs to be more attention paid to the many accounts from the Navy and other services of unusual aerial systems interfering with military weapons platforms and displaying beyond next-generation capabilities, according to the New York Times. Elizondo and two other former Defense Department officials, Christopher K. Mellon and Harold E. Puthoff, have created a venture called To the Stars Academy of Arts and Science, which I'm sure all of you have probably heard of already thanks to Tom DeLonge of Blink-182 being one of the lead people spearheading this company, which aims to investigate exotic science and technologies according to its website. I personally, up until now, didn't believe that was actually their mission, though. From what I have seen of Tom DeLonge speaking about his company so far, the company itself seemed questionable, and I was pretty much positive it was nothing more than a way for those involved to make money. Tom did a horrible job with making his companies seem credible, but that was before I found out Elizondo was actually the head of the Pentagon's UFO research project up until 2012, and the program is still ongoing, by the way, even though the Defense Department said a lack of funding shut the effort down. But we all know that's a load of crap, and there's no way they would actually shut the department down, since, they're reverse engineering alien projects. So, we've done many videos on this, and we won't go there today, although you should definitely go back and watch them if you haven't already. Anyway, so finding out Elizondo was the head of this department immediately changes everything, at least for me. It doesn't make Tom DeLonge any more credible, and I am fairly certain he was only brought on board so that people would pay attention to the company and invest money, since he was already famous thanks to his rock band. These three, however, are a different story, and my opinion on the company improved quite a lot with the release of this information. However, you should be wary. For all we know, this could be a disinformation campaign or something more sinister. It seems like the government may well be on its way towards disclosure, but always remember that our government has lied to us for an obscenely long time, and that you should always take that into account when dealing with any information you receive from them. This is also a problem for us because we don't truly know what we should and shouldn't believe, since they have ruined their own credibility as much as they have. Even if they were telling us the truth at this point, there would be people that would think they are lying, well, because you can't trust a liar. This is why I encourage you guys to do as much research and digging on your own as humanly possible, because we need those independent researchers, much like myself, in order to investigate and piece together the truth. Now, before we end this video, I have one last thing I seriously want to stress to you guys, and that is that anyone in this field of research that gives you any information of any kind, no matter if they are government, civilian, even the freaking Pope, you need to research the information more heavily yourself so you can form your own opinions and get all the facts. And when you do the research, be sure to check your sources and make sure that the source is credible. That way you can determine for yourself if you truly should believe that person or not. I cannot stress this enough to you guys. You need to check the credibility of your sources before you believe them and take everything they say as fact, even if it seems like the most obvious and logical thing in the world. There is often more to the story that you aren't being told, and factors that you otherwise would not have known if you didn't look more deeply into the subject that they're telling you about. I see people fall for what is obvious clickbait lies simply to gain views all the time, and it needs to stop. These sorts of clickbait lies are pure disinformation, and it does nothing but drag us down. If something sounds too good to be true, then check the source, because 9.5 times out of 10, it likely isn't true, and the person giving you this information is doing so purely to profit off of you, which is wrong. People should not be lied to and exploited simply to make money. I know everyone needs money, but there is nothing positive about making a living off of telling lies, although people do it all the time. Unfortunately, the world we live in seems to pretty much revolve around money, and the things people do to make it in a lot of cases are dishonest and without regard for people that they are trying to make their money off of. Here on this channel, we try to make sure we give you guys all of the factual information and evidence so that you can make an informed decision, and one of the main goals of this channel is to expose this very real phenomenon to you guys without all the hoaxes and blatant lies which many other UFO channels on YouTube and websites all over the internet love to use to gain views, since views equal money. I'm not going to list any names since I don't like talking badly about anyone, but I'm sure a lot of you know who they are. There are definitely some great UFO channels on YouTube that don't get the recognition that they deserve for the work that they do, and that is something I am hoping we are able to change as we work together with them and grow along the way as a family and a community. The more people that see this channel, the more factual evidence that we can get out there, and the more we drown out the hoaxers, and that is very, very important. You guys make that possible, and I can't express enough just how awesome you all are and how amazing it is knowing as many of you support us and believe in this research in the way that you do. It brings a huge smile to my face. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today, but stay tuned because there is a lot more coming and we will have it posted very soon. If you liked the video, then please don't forget to smash that like button on your way out, share it, comment, and most importantly, hit that subscribe button and tap that notification bell. It really helps us out, and it'll help you guys stay up to date by sending you a message straight to your inbox every time we upload a video, and you could stay on the up and up with all the latest alternative news. Also, if you want updates on when our videos will be coming out, then please go follow our Facebook page. The link is down in the video description. If you have some UFO footage or evidence that you would like us to feature on the channel, then please email it over to us. Our email is down in the description, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for your support, guys. It means a lot to us, and don't forget to browse the channel if you're new and get yourself up to speed. For those of you watching that celebrate Christmas, I just want to say Merry Christmas to all of you, and for those of you that don't celebrate it, Happy Holidays. And I hope everything has been great and continues going great for you, no matter what holiday you celebrate. As always, I'm Richard with Alien Bros, and I'll see you guys again next video.